This is, well, let me just introduce. I'm Kirk Carlson. This is my show. I'm the fastest growing radio talk show in the nation. The majority of America is on my side, and a lot more people are being turned on my brand of free thinking politics. It's just really all it is. Let me just start off the show with a discussion topic. You can call in, we can talk about this, but there's an economic crisis going on. You might as well know that. And, George Bush being unfairly blamed, and, it was really the Democrats. The Democrats. When you see the D under the name, we see Mark Foley, D. It shouldn't be a D. It should be a D. But the D should stand for dumb. And there should be some other letters attached to it as well. It should be DLSMFH. That's what should be abbreviated underneath their names. We all know that. I mean, if you listen to the show, you know that, at least. And you know what that stands for. Dumb, lib, socialist, Marxist, fascist, Hitler. And that's really what they are. For the last, since really the end of World War II, if you want to look at history, if you consider yourself a scholar in history, look at the libs have controlled the government 100% of that time, either through having a majority power or through a minority power. Libs have been running this country into the ground, and we have these policies now. Is just the economy is faltering. It really is, and they're not letting the markets work themselves out. They're trying to, it's just Well, you already know. Oh, you've been in the show, but here's my proposal. It's a way we can help in probably a small way. To be quite frank, it's probably not going to help solve the entire problem, but I propose a day. Let's just say April 4th. Bashing Day. April 4th, Bashing Day. It's going to get good Americans come out. Good Americans. It's going to be an organized thing. Good Americans. It's probably over 75% of the country. But do this. Good Americans going to come out. And they're going to bring with them their clubs and go out on the streets. And they're going to beat homeless people to death. And that's going to actually solve the poverty problem by killing the poor. And that's a thing I've had, I've been mulling in my head for a while. If we either A, killed, or B, forced labor on the poor, it would be, and everyone knows it. The forced labor idea, they're not going to work even if it's forced. They'd rather die than work. It's really doing them a favor by bashing them with the clubs. These people, they just want handouts, and they've been taught since the early age from their lib parents, go out on the street, ask for money. It's easier than working. Let's quick, frankly, it is. It's easier. It's a better life. But they need to participate. And if they don't participate, you're gonna be beaten. That they need to know that. And I'm completely serious. But anyway, on to it. I'm not getting any calls on this, so I'm just gonna switch to another subject. Let's just talk about a social issue, and let's be quite frank. The social issues, the issue of morality, is connected to the financial crisis in a way which is it's really, really easy to understand. The more immoral we are, the more we're hated by God, and the more we're caused to be poor. And people are going to lose their jobs. Good Americans are going to lose their jobs because of what the gays are doing, getting married, and things like that in California. And as you see, right when California legalized gay marriage, then suddenly the stock market plunges. It's a punishment from God. And I'm not even that religious. I can just see it. It's just so clear to me. I don't know how it's not clear to you. But anyway, on with that is you got this gay marriage issue is spearheaded by not only the gays, but let's clear. The feminazis, and even if they aren't lesbians, they want to push forward this idea. They just it's not really. I don't really understand why. It's more. I think it's just more of a hatred of America issue, and this financial crisis is been caused by these feminazis, and let me see, the sexual revolution, it just really damaged even heterosexual relationships. I've been married 4 times, and I can guarantee you, if there was a national if gays had the right to be married, I think I'd be divorced 4 more times. It's just unbelievable to me. This will affect my personal life. I can't help but get divorced. It's ruining my marriages and probably the marriages all over this country. And just quickly, why don't you guys buy some gold? You know, I'm not telling you this because I'm paid. I'm not paid to sell gold here. I know my colleagues do it, and so I'm doing it too. And if you're going to buy gold, you should invest in gold. That's what you should invest in, gold, because it's shiny. But anyway, let's see how many callers we have. Do we have a caller? No, we don't got no more. We don't have any callers. Well, it's the fastest growing radio talk show host in the nation. I am, and it's puzzling to me. I never really get any calls coming in here, but let's just talk about the libs. This is a runaway train. This lib idea that you can just spend all this money on these socialist programs. This is lib. If we just cut out earmarks, and we just, for that matter, you cut out social welfare programs, we could live. People, the lower members of our society, are dragging us down. It's bad. We're paying for them. We're paying for the average taxpayer in America we're paying for these luxury sedans for other people. It's just not right. We shouldn't be doing this. The government is out of control. And I have a proposal to make. Maybe this will get some calls here. Let's talk about illegal immigration. What right do we have to be giving out these social welfare programs to illegal immigrants when all they do is just take these programs? They just know they get all these services from us, and let's say this is for American. These services are for American citizens, and I don't even like that. I don't even like American citizens getting these services, and I definitely don't like these people coming from another country, foreigners, getting these services. And so I have a proposal. Illegal immigrants should be put into forced labor, and they should work for minimum wage or less, doing jobs that other Americans just might not want to do, like work in fields and be maids and work in these jobs that other people just won't do. And I just want to say that I'm really disturbed here, because there's another issue that's coming up, and that's taxes. We got Barack Hussein, Obama, big lib, biggest lib ever to live, biggest liberal, socialist, Marxist, communist, Leninist, fascist, Hitlerite I've ever seen. He might win the presidency. It's going to mean people like you and me, we're going to have to pay more taxes. And I got to say this. I'm a big proponent of supply-side economics. And let me tell you something. Here, folks. Trickle-down economics works. If we had no taxes, we would get money. More money. We would make more revenue for the government, and we would have no financial crisis, because the more money that's put in consumers' hands to spend will pump more capital into the market. It will create a surge, much like the surge in Iraq of capital surging everywhere, every which way. and the government will be richer for it. Will be more wealthy for it.